guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you a very special menu for Christmas celebration or whenever you're celebrating. So it's called Paupiettes de boeuf in French and stuffed beef in wine sauce in English. I'm going to show you details of how to prepare this succulent menu. Okay, so let's go started. So in this mixed meat, we have half pork meat, minced, and half beef meat mixed with cooked mushrooms and onion, and a little bit of beef stock. Be careful not to add salt because the mixed pork is already salty. So to get started with this meal, you have your stallion steak, but you can take any braising steak. It will do. You get your stallion steak. You try to remove all the parts that are not very consumable. Then you flatten it. You take your haché, bacon, vous mettez des poitrines de porc au milieu comme ça. Vous ajoutez pardon, il faut que vous arrosez un peu de poivre assaisonné. Attention le sel parce que le poitrine il est salé, donc on va mettre juste un petit peu. Just a peine. Mettre au milieu comme ça. So you just start turning like this, and you put it together with I use toothpick, but you can use cooking rope. Vous pouvez utiliser le fil à cuisson, mais moi j'utilise le cuire à dents. C'est plus simple pour moi, mais vous pouvez utiliser le fil à cuisson. Donc voilà, vous avez des viandes comme ça. When it's well wrapped, the next stage is to brown it. We'll now brown it. After browning, we will now flame it with cognac, whiskey, you know, whatever, bonbon, whatever you like, you use it to flame it. So we'll go over to the kitchen and I'll show you the next stage in this recipe. So guys, we're in the kitchen now. This is a little secret in this preparation. You know, if you have the time, it's not mandatory, it's optional. You could smoke your wrapped meat before glazing. You know, so because it gives a very nice taste when you smoke them before glazing and then flaming with cognac. Here I've smoked them just for 2 hours, not even 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. I put them to smoke, and then I'll just give them a little bit of glazing and that's it. Donc ici moi j'ai un petit secret. J'ai fumé les paupiettes. J'ai le fumé. Donc j'ai le fumé un peu. Mais cette étape, vous pouvez laisser tomber cette étape. C'est pas obligatoire. Mais en faisant ça, vous avez de plus bon goût. Voilà. Donc là, je vais vous montrer la prochaine étape quand vous finissez le paupiette. Quand vous finissez de le mettre en place comme ça, et vous voulez pas faire le fumage, donc vous venez ici, un peu d'huile de tournesol, là comme ça, J'attends un peu. Et quand le poêle est chaud, when the plate is hot, we will now color the meat. Yeah, so when you finish rolling the Paupiettes in the beef stock, you will now glaze it. So you glaze it. You try to color it like this. You know, in a very hot fire. It's just coloring. You color. This is what you do. You color it. You know, to make sure it gets a very nice coloring. So I'm going to color these ones that I've put in here to smoke. So now we will now flame our Paupiettes, our stuffed beef. We will now flame the stuffed beef. So we now move it over to the oven-proof dish. Il faut bien faire revenir les oignons. L'ail, je le coupé tout simplement comme ça, mais je vais le mettre comme ça. Voilà. So guys, we're here. The beef, the rolled stuffed beef, has been well glazed, flamed in cognac. You know, you can see how it is now, you know. Yeah, so let's get going with the garniture aromatic. For the garniture aromatic, I have onions, garlic, leek, fresh herbs, celery branch, carrots, dry herbs, salt, freshly ground pepper. So the wine for marinating, I'll advise you take red wine, Carots. Ici, on a notre oignon bien revenu, ail, celery branch, poireau, bouquet garni, carottes, fines herbes, herbes de Provence, sel et poivre mouliné, fraîchement mouliné. Donc on a le vin. Je vous conseille de prendre des carottes pour le marinade. Donc, so let's go started. We'll add the onions. And the garlic, and here we go, the fresh herbs, the leek, and the celery branch, carrots, all in here, the garniture aromatic, fines herbes, so now that you have all your garniture aromatic in your beef, you now add the red wine for marinating. And so we go. Ooh. Oh yes. Yeah. And so remember, it's very important at this stage, always leave a part of your red wine to add it up at the end of cooking. It gives a very nice taste. So we're not going to add all the wine to this marinade. We'll keep a little bit to add it at the end of the cooking. Donc, quand vous ajoutez le vin pour le marinade, il faut toujours laisser une partie de vin pour ajouter à la fin de cuisson pour donner plus de goût à le plat. Donc, tout mariné, on va le laisser au frigo 24 heures et on va mettre en cuisson à 180 degrés Celsius pour 2 heures et demie. Voilà. Donc on le garde au frigo tranquille 24 heures. So we're going to put it in the fridge now for 24 hours or overnight to marinate well before putting it in the oven at 180 degrees 2.5 hours. So let's go do it. We'll put it in the fridge. Yeah, so guys, I've just brought out the Paupiettes from the oven to the fireplace. Je l'ai sorti de four et là, on va le goûter et voir qu'est-ce que ça donne. I'm going to test. Remember, in the beginning of the video, I did not add salt or any seasoning because I wanted to see what is going to be the taste after it's out of the oven. So let's go test it. Yeah, so now I'm going to add my beef stock because I wanted to be sure that the salt in the mixed pork doesn't go over the whole taste so much, you know, giving so much salt. So now that I know the stability of salt, I can now add my beef stock, a bit of dry herbs, salt, and freshly ground pepper. Yeah, freshly ground pepper. Donc j'ai ajouté la bouillon de bœuf, un petit pot de sel et fraîchement moulé de poivre. And then, remember, the remaining wine. Yeah, so we're going to add the remaining wine now. We're going to add it now. Yeah. So, yeah. So we'll just leave it now to steamer. Remember, we left it in the oven for 2.5 hours at 180 degrees. Now we're going to leave it on the fire to steam and then just cook gently for another maybe, yeah, another 1 hour, I would say. It depends, so you just go as you feel. If you feel it's well done for you in 20-30 minutes, it's fine. But I think I'm going to leave it for another 1 hour. And at the end of 1 hour, I will just glaze it with a little bit of butter. So, and then we'll just have to have a taste of it. Okay, guys, we'll come back to it later. While waiting for it to cook, we have to have an accompaniment, what we call in French accompagnement, you know, the side dish to go with it. So for the side dish, for me, I would propose to you just boiled rice. You can use boiled rice, simple boiled rice, or since we're celebrating, this is potato, then we can use potato, carrots, baby carrots, and kale. Kale in French is called chou frisé, you know, so this is it, kale, as the side vegetables for our paupiette de boeuf. Donc, pour l'accompagnement, je vous propose des légumes chou frisé, jaune pousse des carottes, pommes de terre, ou bien simplement le riz blanc. Le riz blanc, tout simplement. Donc, comme c'est la fête, on va sortir quelques pommes de terre avec des pièces emportées. So we're going to make some design from the potato since we're celebrating, you know, to have something fun. So let's do it. So what you have here, you can always use it for puree the pomme de terre écrasée. So it's not a waste. You can always use it for your mashed potatoes and so on. So let's go cooking. Donc on va le faire dans l'eau bouillante. On ajoute des sels. Vous pouvez aussi utiliser le gros sel. You add salt. You let it boil for at least 10-15 minutes because we're going to fry it later. We're going to fry our potato to color it, to give it a very nice color there. Yeah. And then we'll add our carrots to the salted boiled water. So now we're going to take off the vegetable. We'll soak it in very ice water to keep their colors. Very cold ice water to keep their colors, just for a few minutes. You don't leave it long there. Vous le trempez dans l'eau très très froide avec des glaçons pour garder la couleur des légumes. On va le colorer. On va laisser cuire, colorer. On va le saler juste à peine. Pour les légumes, on va juste mettre à côté. C'est juste pour vous montrer comment le glacer les légumes, comment glacer les légumes. On va mettre un pot de sel, juste un petit pot de sel. Un peu de miel. So for the vegetables, the carrots, you add a little bit of salt and honey, just a little bit of honey to glass them. And then we just add a little bit of butter to give them a nice glazy look. To give them a nice glazy look. So while that is cooking, you see how our carrot is doing. So to give the nice glazy look. So we now get to prepare our carots. We'll have to fry the carots. On va faire frire le chou frisé. J'aime bien quand c'est frit, ça donne un bon goût iodé. Donc je préfère frit local. Je préfère le faire en frit. Voilà. On va le saler à peine local. Et voilà, il est prêt. Yeah, so guys, the paupiette is ready. Yeah, so you can see how succulent it's been cooked over 3.5 hours now. Yeah, 2.5 hours in the oven and 1 hour top cooking. So let's try to dress the plate now. This is it. Donc voilà notre paupiette de bœuf pour la fête. Ici vous avez avec le riz et ici vous avez avec de jeunes pousses de légumes et de pommes de terre et de cales. Donc j'espère que vous avez passé une très bonne fête en famille et je vous dis joyeux Noël et bonne année in advance. Yeah, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.